Hey everybody, welcome back to Sergeant's Talk TV. I'm Big Mike.
Nah, I'm normal, Jace.
That's every week. Hey guys, we're glad you're here. Hey, we got a good one for you this week. Hey, this week we're going to talk about the president's 6-step guidance for the new VA secretary. Harry, you got all kinds of stuff open up here.
Well, you're supposed to check all that.
We tried, y'all. Look, he got all mad. I was AWOL last week, and he's like, "Nope, I'm gonna mess
Harry
with
did
him."
that on purpose to get me. It's my fault. I'm in front of the computer. Anyway, guys, so we're going to do the president's 6-step guidance for the new VA secretary. And by the way, did you hear? The VA just they started visiting the VA from Doge.
That should be interesting.
Doge walked through the door, and the only thing everybody's going crazy. I've seen VA channels talk about getting our socials and all this other stuff, and the only reason that they're there is to go over the records in their contracting department. And you know the VA's got a lot of contracts out there,
Right?
a lot of contracts, and that's what they're going over right now is the contract issues because they spend a lot of money on contracting. So that's what they're doing there. So if you hear these other channels talking about all this garbage, it's not true. That's not what they're doing.
The scare tactics that are out there right now,
Right.
on those certain media platforms. That's why it's very important, especially now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it before, but don't just rely on one source. Start looking it up on your own. Go to multiple sources. See what the real story is. Because if you get it from one side, oh, yeah, they're blowing it up. Like, oh, they're shutting the VA down. They're no longer going to give VA benefits. They're going to take people off a benefit. Like, some of the stuff that comes out is so ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how some of these people actually believe the vomit coming out of their mouth. Like, it's insane.
Everybody's got your social security number anyway.
Yeah.
How many breaches have there been over the years? And how many people are on TikTok and how many people are on this and that? And your stuff is being sold every day.
I would love for him to try to get mine and do something with it because joke's on them. I live debt free and have no debt. So my credit score is they can't do nothing with it anyways.
There you go.
All that effort they're going to take to get all my info and they're going to be upset. And I'm going to laugh.
Look, I'm retired. I'm bored out of my mind. It'll give me something to do, right?
Right. Hey, a couple extra phone calls. We'll get her taken care of.
Harry wanted me off the recliner. Hey, I'm up off the recliner. So anyway, guys, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So let's say hello to some people that pay our bills, or we wish they paid our bills. All right, there's Linda Peterson. Hey, Linda.
And I see Eric and Tina. Well, I guarantee it's Tina because Eric always does that work thing. It's rude, but I guess he wants to eat and keep the lights on. So,
my favorite female Marine at our flipping farmstead. There's Dawn. Yeah.
And of course, we have the Sergeant Major. We can't keep her left out.
Nope.
She tries to keep you in line, but we evidently need to send her a bigger whip.
Yeah, there's Jennifer Ocean Homestead sharing out the live.
There's Neil S. saying he's going to stay as long as he can, but he's still loopy from the procedure he had today. So,
what did you have done? Well, don't break no HIPAA laws. I'll take the information and run with it. Hey, there's Ricky Smith from Veterans Landing.
And there is. And there's oh geez. All right, you're watching Big Mike too much. Nope, that was my bride. She's over here trying to be sneaky and but Ricky, I'll let you all know. Ricky, of course, obviously, guys, we've hung extra stuff, but Ricky is the most recent recipient of one of these flag plaques, window plaques.
Oh, all right. What's his name? The guy's name, Steve?
Scott Spencer.
Scott, that's right.
Yep.
Sorry about
and
that.
We've got, so this is actually a good platform to throw this out there. We've thrown it out on the main channel, but if you go to our White Rock Homestead Facebook page, Tara did put up a post to be able to get a hold of Scott Spencer. And the only thing that you'll have to arrange, obviously, like if you're not here in the north central Arkansas area where he's reasonably able to drive it, is you'll probably have to put something out. But we've tried to tell him, hey, you need to charge very healthily about it. And he's like, nope, it's for the veterans. I can't charge to make them. He enjoys making them, but there might be some arrangements for shipping. But yeah, all of it goes through Scott Spencer.
Oh, okay, good.
Or if you send us something, we'll get you in contact with him, but it is on our Facebook page.
All right. Hey, there's Forgotten Black Sheep. Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Hey, there's Come On Homestead.
That's scary.
Yeah. You know what? It's like he's actually here. Oh, what are you talking about?
How do you? He's in the comments and he's there. I'm confused.
How does that happen?
In the comments, I don't know how long I'll be able to stay. I'm really busy.
Hey, there's some liquor over there on the counter.
Right?
Nobody say bagel.
Sourdough.
Oh, we got sourdough for David. Even
Okay.
though he might have shorthanded us the first night he was supposed to do it, and had
I had
talked
to
about
edit that first, man.
Yeah.
edit a video and
Here. So,
All right. Hey, Neil S. We said that. We already said hello to him, but that's okay. Judy Herman.
there's Judy Herman.
Good to see you.
I see Shiloh Acres made it in.
Contracts, more like investigating the kickbacks. That could be true. I worked for the government for 45 years. I know some people that had some kickbacks over the years.
When you,
We can't say names.
well, I can say it wasn't you.
It wasn't me. Shiloh Acres. Hey. Angie.
There she is.
Angie.
Best VA nurse out there.
That's right. Our cabin in the woods.
Are you still going to say that if I go back to work and I work at the VA? Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
That ain't gonna happen. She's just talking smack.
And isn't there a VA clinic by you?
There is.
There you go. You don't have to have a
Yeah.
license to work for the VA.
Their doctors don't. Why should their nurses?
Oh, shoot. Snap.
Oh. There's Liam McGothigan. Made it in. It was
Liam?
good to see you, Liam.
Mike Birch is in here. How you doing, Mike?
See brother Ralph over at Webb's Web made it in.
Yeah, he is. Webb's Web. Midnight Vlog, Midnight Jen, always online. I was about to say Midnight Vlogs.
We have that.
Midnight Jen, always online's in here. Hello. Shared, done, salute everyone. Yeah.
I like your background, Jason.
That is pretty nice, isn't it?
And they haven't stained it or done nothing to it.
No.
Yeah, this is still completely untreated.
Leon.
Tree from right in front of this building. We had cut it down so we could put the building up so it wouldn't fall on the tree later or fall on the building later.
I did that, and then I just had to take it all off.
Well, luckily this is inside, so it shouldn't curl. We had one spot initially that it curled up pretty big,
Yeah.
but we
David knows about wood curling up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, there's Glenn and Shannon Salty Live. This just in, Secretary Exit just named Fort Seal to Fort Enema. He was stationed there. He knows. He knows for what he talks about. Yeah,
He did change.
he just changed Fort Liberty back to Fort Bragg.
I did see something about that where
Well, not the Bragg you think it was. They found a private first class way back when that won a Silver Star, and his last name is Bragg. So they renamed it after the PFC.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, I didn't read the full story, but I did see something that had come up about that, and that was one of the things that I've heard him talk about was the fact that they would remove the name of some of these, pretty prestigious installations, that have had a history, like, and of course, going off subject for a minute, since we're talking about that, like I remember being at Camp Lejeune. Now it's been said Lejeune since forever, as far as I understand. Like I've known it as Lejeune since 1998. And everyone that was there before that, that's how it was pronounced. Well, there was a couple year time frame that they come out, and I mean, we were getting blasted with emails and messages and formations giving up that it's now called Lejeune. And I'm like, what? I know spell good, but that doesn't seem to make much sense. Like, and you're asking an entire installation and multiple generations to, and they're like, well, it something with French origination of John A. Lejeune, who it was named after, that it's supposed to be Lejeune. And I'm like, that's pretty funny because nobody's ever said it that way. And yeah, it didn't really. You had a few people that kept trying to do it, but it was like, it's Lejeune. You quit trying to reinvent the wheel.
Between croissant and croissant.
Right.
It's the same word.
And really thin pancakes.
That's right. Yeah.
Both are good.
Hey, there's White Rock Homestead. What do you know?
What?
Oh, she's muted now. Okay. Hey, there is.
You muted. They're reading your comment.
Denise McDonald's in here. How you doing, sister? Good to see you.
We got brother Tim, so I'm sure Dana and Stella and the whole clan.
Yeah. See, this is what happens when you don't have like 300 to 400 people in there. You can give them that attention.
Oh yeah, I do my best.
I mean, I wouldn't mind having 300 or 400 people in here.
If I had 3 or 4, I could give a lot of attention.
Yeah, 3 or 4 people, you're good to go.
3 or 400, I could give a lot of attention.
This is what 51. This is like the southern side of YouTube, right? Slow.
I remember 51.
I mean, it is a veterans channel, so we have to keep it crayon friendly.
Yeah, crayon friendly. Hey, Drops Family Gardens in here.
I really like this channel. I think
it's
a really good thing that y'all are doing.
And we enjoy it.
I hope it blows up and helps a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And yeah, we do it for our own personal therapy in a selfish way, but also the amount of information we've been able to get out and share with people that didn't know makes it even better, because you're always a veteran. Once you've served, you're always a veteran, and you can't get that ability of wanting to help other veterans.
Yeah. And there's enough channels out there telling how you can beat the system and get a higher rating. There's enough of them out there. There's enough people doing conspiracy stuff out there with veterans channels and stuff like that. But it's just, we try to pick subjects that, are in the news, in the know, what's going to benefit you, what free programs. And oh, by the way, there's going to be we're going to start adding videos, normal videos to this channel with showing you how you can save some money as a veteran. So those are coming real soon. I got the script ready for one of them, and because I had to go over and make sure everything was legit and stuff like that. And stuff like that.
So basically, when he retired, your workload went up.
Yes. Terry's workload will always increase. Hey, O'Rourke's Littlefield. There's Jamie and Kevin.
I was there the other day for the Super Bowl party.
Oh, they had a Super Bowl party?
Yes, and I won the
poker
tournament.
Poker game, right? David won it. Were you there at that?
I wasn't. They wanted us to stay, and we were this close to saying yes, we were going to stick around, because we went there for 3 days.
Yeah.
Typical, we stayed 7, and we said, well, we've got to come home and get some things done. So
Yeah.
we left from over there on last Friday. Got home.
Okay. Hey, Kevin Dietz, how you doing? He's saying great work helping out.
Helping out David on his place. Yeah, that was super fun.
Yeah.
Greatly.
Always a great time when you go up to come on.
Yep.
It's magic.
But I'll tell you, there's a big competition, guys. We're gonna throw it out there of what place do you actually lose the most amount of time when you go in? It's like the Bermuda Triangle, and it's a competition between Come On Mountain and the 41.3.
Oh no, it's the 41.36 by far. You get sucked into there, it's like a black hole.
Yeah. You're like, hey, we're here for a couple hours, we'll be good. Next thing you know, it's midnight, and you're like, where did the last?
Everybody's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna stop by on the way out, and then I'll talk to them, and it's like, yeah, it's 11:30 at night, and we're still here.
Grab a hammer, pick up a saw. Yeah. Hey, Mama Carolyn, how you doing? And
Debbie Drock.
Yep, she's in here. Good to see you, Debbie.
Oh, we got brother David Moffat made it in.
There you go.
Yeah, 43 lights up there, huh?
And there's Randall Gypsy Trails.
And Drops is right. He says, I love how Elon found $1 trillion so far.
Yeah, in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, Democrats.
Trails, Randall. Let's see. Terry's saying hello to people. Hit the like button, Jennifer says. And share us out on your community tab if you've got one. We appreciate that.
Jennifer telling me not to hog the camera. Well, Jennifer, on this night in this live, she just hangs out on the side. So, Ray Castillo says, hello, Big Mike, Jason, and David.
All right. Roll on Bragg.
Oh, you know what? Someone was just asking about. There is Anna Boer. Oh, Robin, a good enough home. Good to see you in here. And, I think that was on Tim's live. A couple people were asking if anybody had heard from you. So we know she's good. She's in here.
Too many lawsuits if you change Camp Lejeune's name.
Right.
Yeah. And it won't be from old gray crusty men in Washington.
I just want them to change hood back.
I've known about Fort Bragg in South Carolina, but no, they're in North Carolina. I found out there is a Fort Bragg in California also.
Used to be long time ago.
Long time ago.
I guess I never heard that one. I knew, and I've been to the one in North Carolina.
There's a new place called Fort Burnt in the Woods. Too soon?
I just shared it to all my socials.
All right.
So Fort Bragg is actually a city in California.
Oh, it's a city, really?
It was a short-lived post
Oh, a short-lived post.
back in the Civil War era.
And that was during the Civil War, Terry says.
Okay. Look, learning something every day, folks.
That's right.
And there's your history lesson for the day.
With Grandma Terry.
Breaking news.
All right, I'm at the bottom.
On the new heights.
Here they have amazing water at Camp Lejeune. Now.
Well, I'll go with they have water at Camp Lejeune. Like
The best water in the Camp Lejeune area is in the Walmart.
yeah, they I spent 12 and a half years there. But of course, this whole lawsuit thing, right? It was all from before my time. They said we fixed all that, and I'm like, really? It seems like it's still the same original pipes from way back when.
Yeah.
And we're getting, and I think one of the best things when I was at Lejeune that was hilarious was they sent me over to be the battalion safety officer. I had to be I went through all the training and all the OSHA shenanigans. So as part of the course, they actually took you over to the base, one of the base power stations. That's been like the original. We went over there. That place failed every OSHA regulation that is possible.
Really?
And we're looking at it and we're like, how is this even still? And they're like, well, we need power, so it's still going to keep running. But if you want to see what something not meeting regulations is, we're going to go over to this building. And I'm like, how is that even possible? So yeah,
You know, Elon Musk, he only looked at the Marine Corps for like 5 minutes because he's seen this big bill. But then he goes, "Oh, it's for water. Never mind. You guys are good." He thought it was contracting. It was lawsuits.
yeah, right. It was like, we're just gonna send that out.
We're done
okay.
with the Marine Corps now. All right, so we're down at the bottom. All right, so from the Secretary of the VA, he says, "It's my life's honor to serve America's veterans as Secretary of the Veterans Affairs, and I thank President Donald J. Trump as well as the U.S. Senate for their confidence in me. America is the greatest nation on earth precisely because of the veterans willing to step forward and defend our freedom. I've witnessed this firsthand throughout my 2 decades in the military as I served with some of the finest men and women our nation has to offer." So that was his opening remarks in his letter to the entire VA staff, to all the veterans out there. He is a veteran himself. He was a full colonel. He was a chaplain. He's seen combat, and he's now leading the VA the way he wanted the VA to serve him. And that's important because he is a VA customer also. So
yeah. So and guys, that we've talked about it before, but in case you didn't know, Doug Collins, this is who's been appointed. So like Mike said, yeah, Navy veteran, Air Force Reserve colonel, and chaplain. And learned that the one thing he learned, or one of the things he learned, I've learned that leadership is about listening, serving, motivating, and setting a good example for those around you. That is the approach I will bring to the Department of Veteran Affairs.
Yep. When President Trump offered him this job, he gave me a simple instruction: take care of America's veterans. Here is how we are going to accomplish this task set by the president.
Yeah. So first, and like we said, this is a 6-step little process that he's going to use. We're going to deliver timely access to care and benefits for every eligible veteran, family member, caregiver, and survivor.
Now, everybody knows that when you apply for your veterans benefits, the sure struggle, maybe not the first time you apply when you get out of the military or anything like that. That normally goes pretty smooth, but it's the follow-on, the things that are listed, and your rear axle goes out like mine did. I had to get 2 brand new hips. The work and the struggle you have to do to submit those claims, get those claims approved, so on and so forth. Mine's been in since the beginning of October. So now what is it? 3 months, 4 months, working on 5 months now, which is normal. Apparently, that's what I found out. It's normal, but it's the taking care of them after the sale, if you will. Okay. Like a car dealer will say, it's not about the car I just sold you. It's the one you're going to come back in 2 years or whatever, or your daughter needs a car and you come back. It's the follow-on service that counts, and it's the customer's return that really matters. So they're talking about taking care of us and expediting. When I read some other stuff about the VA, about expediting claims and stuff like that. I don't know how they're going to do it without hiring more people and needing more money to do that, because these VSOs are backed up. You know what I mean? They're backed up, and I don't know.
Yeah, and that is a big common trend. Like, I mean, I've got one of my Marine buddies that we went through MOS school and stuff together. He was a crewman, I was a mechanic, but he actually represents veterans and getting their benefits increased and doing that kind of stuff now. And yeah, I've had people reach out to him, and he's like, and he's kind of a one-man show right now until he can have time to actually train somebody else to come in, because he's like, I'm just handling all these claims coming in. And a 3 to 4 month backlog before he can even look at the files, and that is something that I don't know. I think with the amount of veterans that are looking at trying to get service, I don't know what the answer is. Like, it'll be the person that can find to get that process streamlined.
Yeah, crack that nut.
Yeah, they're going to be invaluable. Their worth is going to be unmeasurable. Because there's so many submitting, and I think part of it might be just their processes, right? Of how they're handling your claims, hey, it's got to go to 17 people before it can even get into an inbox of the right person. So that's, for me looking at it, I think that's where we kind of hinted it at the early onset, was Doge coming in and finding out, like, hey, why do you have 15 people doing the job of one? You're paying 15 people when this one person could do it, and it's going to be faster and more efficient.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, they're going to need more doctors. They're going to need more nurses and healthcare staff and transportation. So,
And the sad thing is that your buddy that does this for veterans, they go to him after doing it themselves didn't work, and you followed all the parameters set out in the regulation, and now they go, yeah, you know what, we got to deny this one. What? And now they have to go out and pay out of their own pocket to hire somebody to fight the fight to do your second request. Okay. And some people got to go to their third request. And I don't know if it's, hey, we're getting sick and tired of this dude clogging up the system, just to prove it and fricking move on. But on the other hand, if you have somebody that has a service-connected disability, right? And let's point at me. You have it, it gets worse. See what I said? Look at that.
Yeah, we're celebrating you.
All right. And so then you go to a VA doctor, and the doctor says, hey, you're tore up from the floor up. I'm going to send you over and do a consult with the guy who's number one in the state of Oklahoma, orthopedic surgeon on the VA's list, and we're going to send you over there for a consult. I go over there, and he goes, I'm going to confirm that you are tore up from the floor up, sends it back to my VA doctor. Then my VA doctor sends that up to the big VA people in Muskogee. They look at it. They call me in. They said, you need to come in and see this guy. So I go in there and make my appointment. So he brings it up, and he goes, holy shit. And I looked at him. I said, "Is that a medical term widely used?" He goes, "Yeah, you're messed up." And he goes like this. He goes, "Hang on." And he goes like this, and he puts in, it's a standard form, and he puts in there left hip, left and right knee, in that order, right? And they give them from August to February to do all the replacement parts, right? Overhaul the engine or the chassis, if you will.
Right.
And so this guy, he's up there, a doctor, and he signs off on it. I said, "Man, that's the fastest thing." He goes, "You're messed up." And then they go back to the guy who says I was messed up. He does the surgery. I take all the documents from him and the VA. I submit everything saying, "Hey, in your regulation, it says when you have a hip replacement, right, a full hip replacement, you're authorized 30% flat, no questions asked." Okay. So then the VA says, "Okay, we approved it. They cut you open. They replaced the part. You sent your stuff back to us. Now we're going to send you to somebody that's not affiliated with this or anything like that to verify that you had the surgery done." So I go to this guy, come to find out he's just an MD, right? 30 miles away from where I live. He's not a specialist by no means. He's just an MD. He tells me to get up on the table and lay down. And he says, "Open your legs up, one leg at a time." I said, "Okay." Then he says, "Okay, I'm going to push down and you push up." And when he did that, I screamed out in pain. I go, "Holy crap." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, I said, do you even want to see it?" He goes, "No, I see your x-rays." He goes, "Before the surgery, after surgery." And I'm going, "Okay." He goes, I said, "Do you want to see the scar?" He goes, "Yeah, let me see the scar." He goes, "Wow, that's pretty nice size scar." I said, "Okay." He goes, "You can pull your pants up." And I'm done. And he goes, "I should take me about 2 weeks to get the write-up for this." I said, "Wow, 2 weeks?" He goes, "Well, I have to go through 13,112 pages of your medical record." I said, "Okay." He goes, "Then I'll write it all up and stuff and I'll turn it in." I'm like going, I had to go to a specialist to get my bone sawed off and put a spike down my leg and a insert and all that stuff. And then some MD that's not a specialist at all tells me to move my leg so he can put pressure on it. And then he looks at my scar because I asked him to look at it. And now I'm going to wait 5 months to 6 months for somebody up there to make a decision that we saw you at the VA. We recommended the surgery. We accepted the surgery and we paid all the bills, but we got to do all this other stuff because the book said to. We're only on step 8. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. They got to fix this crap. If they're not going to do surgeries in-house, they got to fix this.
Yeah. And that's the biggest key. And I know we've talked about this before, was it's all about terminology.
Yeah.
Of how they write that up and put it in, because I went for a couple extra evals before I went through my buddy and had to pay to get, an increase and go through a third source doctor and do all this stuff. But that was the one big thing of talking to him and talking to the doctors and the staff. And even before I talked to him, my PA that I had as a doctor in Michigan right before I moved, she had told me the same thing, was like, it's about how they work it. And like, we went in and I was talking about one of my medications and I'm like, "Hey, they keep putting me on this, off brand, but the name brand is what works. That's what I've been on. But because they upped the price of the name brand because it works so well, they took me off because the VA is like, hey, we're going to buy the cheapest, version. That's what we're going to pay for.
Right.
And she's like, so in order for me, she goes, you could still get name brand. Like, they'll send you that prescription, but you have to spend X amount of time on all the alternatives before they're finally going to be like, oh, well, he tried these and it didn't work. So now we're going to go back and, we'll give them, but if you don't go through that, it was honestly no different than when I was fully set up, seeing a chiropractor, had all my meds in line, everything when I was in Michigan. I moved to Arkansas, start over. I went in and I'm like, I'm already in the system. It's a national system. This isn't a state-run deal. Like, this is a national system.
Right.
And so I said, I've already been approved. Here's all the documentation. I just need to find a local chiropractor. And they're like, well, no. We have different therapists here. You have to go over here to physical therapy and try all these. And I spent probably a year and a half monkeying around with them over there of going, I'm not coming to your therapy. Like, I'll come to 1 or 2 sessions and then I'm done because your therapy makes my condition worse. I'm not doing it. Sorry. Like, that's my choice. I'll just deal with the pain if you're not going to care for me. And it took me bringing my wife in, my last appointment with my primary, and she's like, look, he's done all this. The medicines, that's not going to help.
Yeah.
If he can go get an adjustment, and voila, I'm going to see a chiropractor twice a week now.
The VA checklists are just asinine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just absolutely asinine. Okay. So just our take. Hey, welcome in. He says, let's see. He said same thing happened to him when he moved to Montana. And write this down, babe. Just our take is coming to the Mid-America meetup. All right.
Nice.
Look forward to seeing you. There's Philip W. Ryder. Yes, he is.
I see old Rachel and Scott over there. Back to Good made it in, or Sean.
Yep.
You want to call him Scott.
All right. So number two, we're going to challenge the status quo in order to find new and better ways of helping VA beneficiaries. Us, veterans, okay,
Yeah.
our spouses, our children, if they qualify, and stuff like that. So he's a family man. The VA secretary is. Families equals support element for active duty, National Guard, reserves, and veterans. Okay. So again, if the family's not happy, guess who's miserable?
Oh, yeah.
Veteran. When you get up in age, if you're not taking care of the veteran, the loudest mouth in the family is the spouse. Trust me, I've sat in VAs and stuff like that, and I thought, like, I was up there before, and I thought this lady was the veteran because she was running up and down the flagpole on this guy, right? And then come to find out, her husband, he was sitting over in the wheelchair. She came to fight. You know what I mean? And you know what it was over? One of his brake things was bent. She was getting a new freaking wheelchair. And guess what? She left out of there with a brand new wheelchair.
Yeah. Well, speaking of definitely knowing that there's a firecracker helping her veteran, here is Glenda at Grace and Fire.
Yeah, she says, "You sure it wasn't me?"
Yeah, it might have been.
It might have. If you was in Muskogee. Glad you're in here, right, Glenda?
Absolutely.
All right.
So we're gonna go to number 4 because we'd already covered. I know Mike said 2, but it was really 3.
What was it? Oh, I'm
we're
sorry.
gonna-
I did. What was I talking? What did I do?
You read 3, said it was 2, but we talked about 2 already.
And 2 was.
We're going to put veterans at the center of everything VA does, focus relentlessly on customer service and convenience.
I take a pill for this, guys. I think I'm section dyslexic.
Well, and I think you
I thought I was the non-highlighted.
you did
Yeah.
the same thing with Just Our Take. That was Back to Good that said she was excited to go to.
No, I thought it said our take.
She put it right below his.
Oh, I'm
comment.
sorry.
You,
I got my glasses on too. See, I'm
So
telling
talking
you,
about
guys,
those VA visits, and Big Mike needs to go and exercise his benefits
the
at the eye
vehicle's
clinic
paid
every
off,
day.
and now it's breaking down. All
But
right,
the parts are still under warranty. They're young and new.
okay. All right, so we're
Um,
on 4 now, right?
We're on 4.
And 4 is yours.
So we're gonna celebrate the vast majority of VA employees who do a great job every day and hold employees accountable when they fall short of the mission.
Ooh.
And that's a big one, because that's when you start talking to people that are actually staffed at the VA. And like we've talked about before, that's why, like we highlight Angie every time she's coming in, like her job. When you go to the VA, your experience there is based on the staff, the nurses, the receptionists, everybody that's there, the doctors, like it's the staff. Like it may or may not be a VA policy, but it's that individual, we're there, we're dealing with that human. But it is, in my experience and the people that I've talked to that have worked for either the VA directly or VA subsidiaries that are supporting, trying to do like QTC and stuff like that do a lot of the claims for the VA. That whole accountable when they fall short of the mission.
Right.
That's the part to me. Like, I'm glad, and I'm not putting any less focus on the fact that they want to celebrate the employees that are doing a great job. The problem is, it is almost next to impossible for them to fire you unless like you have to like kill multiple patients or something. Like I've known of multiple incidents where staff that were at the VA and they were not doing their job, but the other staff around them were picking up the slack doing it, but they couldn't fire them because the process to get rid of them is next to impossible to go through.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
for me,
and I will tell you that they don't need to be around people. The customer service part of it, they shouldn't even be around that. They should be in a filing room down in the basement. But I will tell you that 9 out of 10 people that work for the VA do an outstanding job.
yes.
Okay. I will tell you that. And when I talk to Angie, it's not always what you want to hear that sets veterans off. That's not what I want to hear, but it is within the regulation that the VA employees have to operate under.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you, as a veteran, an old cantankerous fart, don't want to hear that, but that's what they have to tell you.
Yeah.
Or this is what we have to do, like the multiple drugs you have to take before you can get to the good shit,
Right.
right? It's what they have to do, but those employees take the brunt of the blast every single time. Okay?
Yep.
So 9 times out of 10, every employee that works for the VA are there because they want to be, they're good people, and so on and so forth. Doctors, they'll come and they'll go and stuff like that, or they're finishing out their career and they just don't want to retire yet, but hey, I can go to the VA and pick up a good paycheck over there as a government civilian. But I will tell you that they're good people that work for the VA. I have not ever, to this day, met somebody that was cantankerous, was rude, was just horrible person. I haven't met that person yet. I have met the horrible and rude regulations that they have to operate under, though. I've met those things. Okay.
Yeah, and I actually, so nursing staff, receptionists, like everybody, those I've never, I will second you on that. I've never found one yet that was, inconsiderate, rude, nothing. Now the doctors, that's a whole nother situation. I went through 3 of them in my first VA clinic when I first retired, and I looked them straight in the face and was like, I'm glad you didn't pass your med boards, and that's why you're here, because you're worthless. I'm getting another doctor.
Yeah.
And we leave the appointment, and sure enough, my next appointment, guess what? I had another one, and they were just as worthless. And I not that I'm old in any means, but I'm also like, I'm gonna be that cranky old man in the aspect that I did my deed, right? I served our country, and now I have medical conditions that require help. And when I walk in, and as the doctor is looking at me, clearly stating that I am there wasting his time, he would rather be doing something much better with his time than providing me health care. That's the no-go for me. And I did have that. And but on the same, like, I've had some great doctors. I'm still on the fence with the one that I have right now. I'm not real keen of them. There's some that are very clear and adamant, but now all the nursing and all the staff, all that, they are amazing.
Yeah.
Every bit of them are amazing. It's that MD level, the doctors and the PAs that they'll bring in, and they're clearly there chasing the dollar, and it's evident.
I'm going to tell you something. I love my PA. Her name is Emily Ogden, and I'll say her name loud and proud. She wants to find the problem. She wants to help veterans, and you go in every 6 months because you have to make the appointments, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to come in like a week prior to do your blood work, and then you got to come in for your appointment. Okay. But I will tell you, I said, I don't mean to keep you here. She goes, hey, this is you. If somebody's got to wait a little bit longer, let's finish you up first. I go, oh, wow. Nobody's ever said that to me that way. She wants to figure it out. She wants to know everything that's going on. She wants to know this and that. I get, after I got my hearing aids and stuff like that, I got a thing from them. I'm thinking, who is this? And I text back, I said, who is this? She goes, this is Emily. And then I put 2 and 2 together, what she was asking me, and Emily's my PA. If they're not working for you and this and that, we can put you in a different model and blah, 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 so on and so forth. But I don't like these for the fact that all of a sudden I'll get this out of nowhere and it about busts my eardrums, and it does it every once in a while. In fact, I was coming out of the bedroom early one morning, and I had it, and Terry goes, what is that? And it was my hearing aids. The one on the left side just went wacko. And then when I went in, all of a sudden it didn't stop working. It woke her up.
Wow.
Right?
Alarm going on.
She thought it was an alarm going off, and it was inside my ear hole, right, from the hearing aid. And then I went out there, and then I couldn't hear nothing in this. I said, wow, did I just break my eardrum? And then I looked on my phone because I have the app there, and it says not operating. And it was red on the left side. I said, wow, what the heck? So I went back in there later on, and I put them back on the charger, and it didn't register on the charger. I said, wow. So I got online. I said, okay. So I took the little button and I held it down, and then it started beeping real quick. And then all of a sudden I looked on my phone, it says they found it. So something's going on. But that about broke my eardrum when it did that. So I gotta go in there and tell them, hey, something's going on or whatever. And so anyway, so we're going on, right? And
Yep.
number 5, we're going to provide veterans with the health care choices they have earned while maintaining and improving VA direct health care capabilities. All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then, so the last one, we're going to do a better job reaching veterans at risk of homelessness or suicide, especially those who have no contact with the VA. And I think that that's the big one. And honestly, like, once you're in the VA system, I won't ever say that it's easy, but you seem to be able to find more information as it goes along. But it is still extremely difficult to be able to find information of, hey, where can I go? What are my options? I guess prime example is when I first moved back to Michigan when I retired. They said, hey, this is your VA clinic. You have to go there. Everything is run through there. Like pretty much the entire state runs through that one Battle Creek VA clinic. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going to go there. Well, that's where I had three or four different doctors that it was at a point I went on my annual. I wouldn't even go to the 6-month exam. I went on my annual exam and that was it. I'm like, nope, I went through TRICARE and had a civilian doctor to see all my stuff because I was like, they're not doing anything for me. And come to find out, that one was probably 45 minutes away. Took 45 minutes to an hour to get to that clinic. There was one 25 minutes away from me. Had no idea that it was there. Then I find out that 5 minutes down the road from where I was living was actually a VSO from the VA. It wasn't even a DAV rep because I tried getting a hold of a couple of the DAV reps in the area with no response. They're like, well, you need to make an appointment. I'm like, oh, well, I'm talking to you in person right now here. Like, make me an appointment. Well, no, you have to go on. Like, just made it more difficult. Once again, that whole I'm wasting their time. They're just there to collect a paycheck. How dare I require them work? But yeah, then I found the VSO down the road and she's like, hey, just go to this one in Wyoming. And I'm like, what do you mean? Went there, amazing. Actually have a guy, another Marine veteran that retired. We graduated high school together. He joined the Marine Corps a few months after I did. He's since retired from the Marine Corps, is living back home. So of course I reached out and said, if you're going to Battle Creek, stop, go to Wyoming. Got him all the information going up there, amazing up there. Like that whole clinic difference, but the information, like, every time you would look something up online, go to Battle Creek, go to here, go to there. Like, being able to get, I'm kind of curious of what that's going to look like, and how they're going to, I guess, make that a more efficient or more effective process of getting that information out there.
Yeah. Yeah. So the VA secretary says, my commitment to my fellow service members and veterans will serve as my compass for the way ahead. And I am honored to be working with the men and women of the VA accomplish our noble and vital mission. Together, we will strengthen the VA so it works better for America's heroes. Let's get to work. And that was the end of his letter to the members of the VA and to the veterans that they serve. So, the good thing is that the VA does do great things for great people out there. The people that I call heroes, the people that are part of the 3% that serve this nation. I see in my dealings, people's attitude towards veterans just coming back full circle. Again, there was a lull in patriotism and stuff like that. I don't know what the change in the attitudes are. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Why things are changing, are making people, for a while their voices were not heard. When people called out stupidity, fingers got pointed at them, so they just shut the heck up. Excuse me. Sorry, Anna Moore. Did she smack me from before? And I didn't even know. Then I realized it when I seen the comment. But anyway.
Oh, that was for the and stuff like that.
And stuff like that. And so, I think that, and I hope and I pray that young veterans that get out take advantage about doing the right things. If you're a parent or a spouse or an aunt or an uncle or anything that's listening to this, and you have a service member and they're getting out, you need to be that force that pushes them. Make sure, okay, this is your aunt speaking. I haven't seen you in a while, but I'm going to tell you something. You better get your VA stuff done before you finally get out. Okay. Remember, if you don't do it then, don't be like a lot of people that wait till you get older, much older, and your machine starts breaking down, and then you want to go back and say, hey, I need to file for the VA. Do it now. Okay? Do it now. Take care of yourself and prep yourself as a veteran for later in life. Okay? I'm not saying get out, you may be, they said, hey, you got a 0 rating, but hey, you got everything on the record. We got you on the rolls and stuff like that. Because what if one of those things they found out was wrong with you later on became a serious issue down the road? Now who's going to take care of you? Because the VA don't turn down pre-existing conditions. Okay. That's why they're there. That's why they take care of you. So if you're a spouse, a husband, a wife, an aunt, an uncle, a grandma, a grandpa, whatever, all right, take care of your veteran. Okay.
I want to put this out there
of themselves,
because up until my last VA appointment, Tara really hadn't been going with me. She'll guide me at home. She looks at everything, and I get a report every time I go and bring it back, and I'm like, hey, it has all these things called words, and I don't understand most of them because they're really big. Like, here, you look at it and tell me if that's good or not. And go with your spouse, significant other, whoever. Go with that veteran. Go into that appointment with them and talk to that doctor. Like,
yeah,
and if you're a veteran, have your spouse come. Like, they're the ones, or whoever's taking you. They're gonna be your voice when you're just like, we're used to getting nothing but, hey, Motrin and water, walk it off. And so that's the only way that we know as veterans to be able to keep handling that situation. But if you've got somebody else coming in with you, they could ask those questions. And, and I'd been, like I said, fighting for the last couple of years of getting back into chiropractor again.
Instead, they wanted to just prescribe an antipsychotic.
Yeah. And that's the other thing is if you've got somebody, like my wife that knows medicines, like they wanted to put me on an antipsychotic because it has long-term pain management effects. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. And I'd seen Glenn and Shannon Salty Life had said that earlier was, they're just going to throw some meds at you if they don't really care.
Because
if they're there to collect that check, and instead of take care of you as a veteran and as a patient, they're just going to keep throwing those things at you. And I guess one other thing, and I'd seen it in the comments earlier on, was Kevin Dietz came in, said he's filed twice, didn't get it. Kevin, keep filing. If it takes 10 times, keep filing.
Yep.
Never give up on that aspect. Change clinics. If you filed once, you're going to see a doctor. Like, it's not untypical that if you're only going back once a year to see a different doctor every time.
And you could go see another doctor to get the second opinion and turn both of those opinions in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Galinda's correct. The VA is a beast. It is huge. And so if you've got a significant other, a spouse or whatever, take them with you. Let them have the enjoyment of dealing with the VA with you. Remember, through thick or thin, till death do we part. Right? You're the spouse of a veteran. So get to learn it, because there might be a time where you have to step up and say, hey, the brake on my husband's wheelchair is broken. Give him another wheelchair. Okay? Like
right.
That sweet old lady that I seen at the VA. I didn't know she knew that many cuss words either. She looked sweet, fragile, but man, like a sailor.
Yeah. I'm going to throw this up. Angie's asking prayers, please, to her favorite veteran, her father. He had a stroke 2 weeks ago and is in need of some prayers.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But yeah, you just, like I said, you're going to go in, you're going to get frustrated. None of the process of dealing with the VA is ever not frustrating.
Yeah.
Even if things are looking right, that frustration might just be the fact that, and Big Mike, I'm going to use you, brother, as the example. It's got an amazing PA that is on it, right? She's in there like, hey, you're tore up from the floor up, buddy. We're going to get you these services. But the reminder, especially for the families that are dealing with these veterans, this stuff doesn't happen overnight.
No.
And it could be a 6 month to a year long process to be able to get those there. And even if it's 6 months, if you can get it done that quick, it'll feel like 5 years. You're counting the minutes.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of like you're out doing a PT run with the unit, and they keep just circling the barracks. And you're like, well, we're supposed to stop at any time, but they keep going for another 3 miles. And you're like, well, I thought we were stopping back there, guys. That's what,
Yeah.
you got to sometimes put yourself in that mindset of you can see the finish line, but it's going to be down there for a while. Like
Right.
it's going to be there, that process. And in the end, you'll be taken care of. But you just got to exercise that patience.
Right.
And I think that's where the family and a good support group really come in of reminding them, because they're like, man, it's been like 6 years, and then you count it and you're like, it's been a week. Like,
yeah. I mean, you could, if you don't know, if you did some research and seen how other countries take care of their veterans, a lot of countries is because there's a lot of countries that have socialized medicine and stuff like that. You're no more important than anybody else. There's no special organization to take care of you because you served and you got injured or whatever like that. They're not there. I will guarantee you that. I've been to a lot of countries, worked with a lot of militaries and stuff like that. And they're not there. So, I always tell people, they complain about how our government or America is treating them and stuff like that. You haven't been to other countries to see what messed up is all about. Okay. You haven't been there and you don't know. Our country takes care of us really, really well compared to a lot of countries. So guys, hey, glad you guys came in. I hope you guys share us out. If you have a veteran out there, somebody that could benefit from one of our videos that we've done or our lives we've done, please turn them on to us. Share us out on your community page if you've got one, so we can get the word out. Guys, remember, be kind to one another. Help somebody in need, and always think of that. Brother, I love you, battle buddy.
Love you, man.
And tell Tara we love her. And
Love you too.
we will be live tomorrow night, Wednesday night. I got this right now. I'm on Wednesday night. And we're on at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on MT Homestead. We'll be live tomorrow. And you?
We go live at White Rock Homestead on Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Time.
Yep. So please check out both of the channels. Check out both of our last videos. See what we're up to and stuff like that. Guys, we love you. God bless you. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
See you. Bye now.
Angie!
Go on.